On the floor. If you can't, put your hands on your ankles. That's easy enough. Breathe and allow the lower back to settle. Roll the pelvis as far forward as you can. Antevert the pelvis. And along with that movement of the pelvis, drop the whole spine forward. But the action is all in the hips. Please bring your hands up onto your knees. Press forward with your hands. As you press forward, lift the manubrium, pressing down. Come up with a happy straight spine. Would you please take your right leg forward? When you plant the foot on the floor, make sure you're pressing the back of the heel down. Draw the toes toward the knee. If you have a deep forward bend, step your left foot to the side and move the foot forward just a tiny bit. And then if you would, lengthen the torso and hinge at the hip. Come straight forward. Go as far as you can go comfortably. Make sure you're pressing the back of the heel down so you're not hyperextending the back of the knee. Those of you who have a deep forward bend can reach forward with your right hand, hold on to the right foot, the top of the foot. Draw the top of the foot toward the knee. And then while you're holding onto the foot, bend the elbow toward the floor to leverage a little extra length in the spine and a little greater depth in the pose. Go as far as you can go comfortably. Wherever you are in the pose, please organize yourselves. Bring your hands up onto the left knee. Press forward, lift the manubrium, press down, inhale, come up with a straight spine. Please step the right foot back, and now we'll step the left foot forward. Again, step your right foot to the side if you have a deep forward bend, and then organizing the torso, making sure it is well aligned. Lengthen the front of the spine, hinge at the hip, come forward. Please don't drop the head, don't drop the chest forward, but instead, come forward until you feel the belly pressed to the side, and then just see if you can bring the ribs closer and closer and closer to the leg. Making sure you continue to press the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Those of you who have a deep forward bend and can comfortably reach the foot, reach out with your left hand, hold on to the toes and the top of the foot. In order to leverage a little bit of extra length in the torso, begin to bend the elbow toward the floor, lengthen the spine. That will also deepen the pose. Go as far as you can go comfortably. Breathe into the tension. Find out if there's some small movement that will help to move you beyond the place you are at the moment. See if you can just go a little bit deeper. Don't hesitate to make little adjustments as you go, and always focus the breath in the area where you feel the tension. Now, if you would please organize yourselves to bring your hands onto the right knee. Press forward. As you press forward, lift the manubrium, and then with a straight spine, press down and inhale, come up. Step the left foot back, and let's just go ahead and shake those legs. And now we'll move toward the adductors. We'll sit way back in the chair. Separate the knees wide to sit up tall. Holding on to the front of the feet, try to lift the chair up, and as you do that, roll the chest forward. You've already begun to roll on the sits bones. Continue to come forward. Come forward, come forward, come forward, come forward. See if you can bring the torso parallel to the floor. Wherever you are with that movement, Reach down, hold on to the legs of the chair, and place your elbows on the inside of the thighs as close to the groin as you can get. Of course, the chair is in the way. Once you get the elbows in that position, marry the flesh of the inner thigh. And then, without allowing the elbows to slip, press the elbows out toward the knee to deepen the stretch in the inner upper groin. While you're there, use the arms to try to lift the chair up, and as you do that, lengthen the front of your spine, and see if you can further antevert the pelvis. That's going to deepen the stretch in the hips and the inner groin. Breathe into the tension. See if you can move the knees farther apart. Please have the toes pointing in the direction that the knees are pointing. Continue to lengthen the front of the spine. Roll the pelvis forward. Before coming out of the pose, we'll release the tension, step the feet together slightly to take the tension out of the area we've just stretched. Bring your hands up onto your knees. As you press the hands forward, lift the manubrium, and then with a happy straight spine, press down, inhale, come up. Good, we'll come near the front of the chair. First thing we're going to do is organize the shoulders. So sitting tall, make sure the pelvis is slightly rolled forward. Roll the left shoulder forward, lift it, roll it way back, and let it drop. Roll the right shoulder forward, lift it, roll it way back, and let it drop. Now, if you would please, reach down towards the floor, open the palms, spread the fingers wide, and allow the arms to lift. As you're there, reach out as far as you can go. To take the hands farther back, begin to squeeze the shoulder blades together. Go back as far as you can go. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Lift the front of the spine. Keep the manubrium high. Spin the palms. And then if you would please take the arms way up into the air. Let's go ahead now and roll the pelvis forward and invert the spine, and invert the pelvis. If you would, please lengthen the front of the spine, lay the head back to look up. Don't drop the skull back just yet, but instead reach up until you feel the lower back empty of any tension. Once you have done that, further supinate the hands, spinning the thumbs away from each other. See if you can widen the upper back and begin to elevate the shoulder blades, feeling as though they're embracing the sides of the body now. Now, if the lower back is comfortable because you've lifted enough that you've emptied the tension in the lower back, drop the skull back. It's going to increase the stress in your back. So if it's uncomfortable, don't go any farther. If it is comfortable, that's great. Begin to invite the spine to move toward the center of the body. Once you have done that, continue that motion and just see how far back you can go into a back-bending motion as you maintain the anteversion of the pelvis and lengthen the front of the spine. Go as far as you can go comfortably. Continue to lift the spine toward the center of the body to relieve any stress you feel in your back. And now, if you would please, let's bring the torso back to an upright position and we'll lower the arms. Reaching way out as you go, reaching way back as you come down. Take the arms the whole way down. We'll roll the left shoulder forward, lift it. Roll it way back and just let it drop. We'll roll the right shoulder forward, lift it, roll it way back, and let it drop. Would you please take the arms forward, palms facing each other? Bend your elbows to 90 degrees. Separate the elbows, bringing them out in line with the shoulder, keeping the arms bent at 90 degrees. While you're there, see if you can squeeze the shoulder blades together a bit more. Lift the chest. And from that position, begin to lower the forearm. Stop when you're parallel to the floor. Now, we want to keep the elbows right in line with the shoulders. And we're going to continue to rotate the arms so the fingers begin to drop down toward the floor. Try not to do this, but instead keep the shoulders down as the elbows stay up. And then if you would, please bring the hands back up. And we'll go down one more time. And up you go. And let's do that once again. Down you go. And we'll come back up. And if you would, please bring the arms together. The elbows are together, the palms are together. We're going to supinate the palms to face you now. Reach the elbows toward the center of the room, pressing the elbows together. Allow the upper back to stretch. Focusing entirely on your upper back now, see if you can straighten the arms, leaving the elbows at shoulder height, keeping the elbows together. Keep the elbows together, and at shoulder height, straighten the arms. Go out as far as you can go. And let's just go ahead and fold. Say a little prayer. And while you're there, begin to separate the elbows at shoulder height. As the hands descend, keep the middle fingers pressed together. Now, begin to move the hands toward the chin, under the chin if you can. Squeeze the forearm to the upper arm, keeping the elbows high. Use the shoulder blades to separate the fingertips. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Squeeze them together as much as you can, and then bring the fingertips together. Move the hands forward, go back up into prayer position with the elbows together, and then just lower the arm, and out you go. We're going to go ahead now and just bend the elbows to 90 degrees. Keep them at your side. Separate the hands. Go as far as you can go. And come back. And once again, separate the hands. And come back. This time, let's move the hands apart slightly by squeezing the shoulder blades together. Lift the chest. Make a tight fist. Draw the hands back, trying to bring the elbows together behind your back. Press the elbows down. As you press the elbows down, roll the pelvis forward. Lengthen the front of the spine. Lay the head back. Look up. Pressing the elbows down, inviting the spine, especially the lumbar spine, to move forward in the body. Lengthening the front of the spine. Allow the skull to drop back if you're comfortable doing that. Open your mouth. Breathe through your mouth. Press your jaw toward the ceiling using your tongue behind the jaw. Press the jaw toward the ceiling. Now pull the elbows back a little bit farther. Press the shoulders down a little bit more. Lift the chest a little bit more. Press the jaw toward the ceiling a little bit more. And a little bit more. And a little bit more. And release. Go ahead and take the arms, bring them
front of you, palms are facing down, make a tight fist. Bend the elbows to 90 degrees, pulling the elbows right back in line with the shoulders. While you're back there, begin to squeeze the shoulder blades together to bring the hands a little bit farther back. And a little bit farther back, a little bit farther back. And once again, we're going to anti-birth the pelvis. We're going to lengthen the front of the spine, lay the head back, look up. If your lower back is comfortable, allow the skull to drop back. It's going to increase the pressure in the lower back. You can relieve that pressure by rolling the pelvis forward and inviting the lumbar spine toward the center of the body as you lengthen the front of the spine. When you're back there as far as you can go, lift your shoulder blades against the back of the skull, pressing the shoulders up towards the mastoid processes behind the ears, and squeeze the muscles at the base of the neck as deeply as you can. Do that just a little bit more, and a little bit more, and maybe just a little bit more, and release. Okay, so, got your back, now we're going to go for your neck. Let's drop the chin down into the suprasternal notch. Interlace your fingers. Reach the hands up to the back of the skull, hooking the heel of the thumb below the mastoid processes behind the ears. Allow the thumbs themselves to roll up toward the occipital ridge, and then allow the elbows to come together about shoulder width apart. Swallow and relax the throat, and see how far you can drop the chin forward, bringing it closer and closer into the suprasternal notch. Now we're going to attempt to lift the head away from the shoulders. So we're lifting the skull forward until we feel a nice stretch on the back of the neck. To increase that stretch, if you feel comfortable doing this, hold the head in place with your hands. Lift your head against the hands without allowing the head to come up. Stay in that position, release the tension. Once again, we're going to lift the head and then hold the head in place as you try to lift it against the hands and release the tension. And one more time. Lift the head against the hands, but don't allow the head to come up. And release the tension. And we'll just go ahead and lower the hands. Bring the head to an upright position. So we've stretched the throat, we've stretched the back of the neck. Let's stretch the left side of the neck. Drop the right ear toward the right shoulder. Reach your right hand down to your side and take that arm way up overhead, holding onto the left side of the skull. Get a good grip there so you can lift the skull slightly toward the right, dropping the right ear closer to the shoulder. You should begin to feel a stretch on the left side of the neck. Drop your left hand down. Reach for the floor to increase that stretch. And then holding the head in place, lift the head against the hand. Don't let the head come up. Release the tension. Once again, we're going to lift the head against the hand. Don't let it come up. Release the tension. And one more time. Lift the head against the hand. Release the tension. Take your right hand all the way down. Bring the head back to an upright position. Go ahead and drop the left ear toward the left shoulder.
Take your left arm, reach way out to the side, then reach way up overhead. Hold on to the back of the skull, the side of the skull, and draw the head closer to the shoulder. To increase the stretch, your right fingertips press down toward the floor. And then you try to lift the head against the hands without allowing it to come up. Stretch the right side of the neck. Release the tension. One more time. We'll lift. Release the tension. And once again, we'll lift. Release the tension. Lower your left hand and arm. Bring the head to an upright position. Drop your chin down into the suprasternal notch. Go as deeply as you can. Rotate the head so that you're looking to the right. Don't crane the neck, just rotate the head. And look back to center. Rotate the head to look to the left. And rotate back to center. Bring the head to an upright position. Rotate to face right. Go as far as you can. Don't irritate the neck. Try not to let the left shoulder come with you. And let's rotate the head to face forward. And then, if you would, please rotate to the left. Go as far as you can comfortably. Keep the right shoulder back. And let's rotate to the center once again. Now we're going to lengthen the front of the spine so we can comfortably lay the head back looking up. For some people, this is far enough to go. For others, you may want to drop the skull back if your lower back will tolerate that with comfort. Now rotate the head to look to the right. Rotate the head until you're facing forward. And then we'll rotate to look to the left. Rotate back to the center. Bring the head to an upright position. Now we'll drop the chin down to the chest. Roll the right ear toward the right shoulder. Look forward when you get there. Lay the head back to look up. Roll the left ear toward the left shoulder. And then drop the chin down into the suprasternal notch. We'll repeat the movement with the breath. We'll inhale as we go to the right. And lay the head back. And we'll exhale as we go to the left and drop the head forward. One more time on your own with the breath. When you're done, bring your head to an upright position. We'll wait for everyone to finish. And now we're going to drop the chin to the chest. We'll roll the left ear toward the left shoulder. Look forward when you get there. Lay the head back. Look up. Roll the right ear over the right shoulder. Look forward when you get there. And then drop the chin down into the suprasternal notch. Now we'll inhale as we go to the left and back. We'll exhale as we come to the right and forward. And one more time with the breath. And when you're done, bring the head to an upright position. Taking your arms down to your side, roll the left shoulder forward, lift it, roll it way back, let it drop. Roll the right shoulder forward, lift it, roll it way back, let it drop. Would you please take the left arm way out to the side, supinate the hand and arm as you reach up overhead. To further open the shoulder, feel as though you're supinating the hand just a tiny bit more. As the shoulder widens, see if you can elevate the shoulder blade. Try not to compress the ear, but instead reaching way up and over. Go as far as you need to go to begin to feel a stretch in the intercostals on the left side. To increase that stretch without further compressing the right waist, bring your right hand onto the right side of the ribs and just press the ribs a little bit farther to the left. Reach as far as you can to the right with your left hand as you do that. Breathe. Breathe into the side of the rib cage. Breathe into the left side. So you can really feel those intercostal spaces expand. And now we're going to take the left arm down, return to an upright position. Before we do the second side, let's position the shoulders. Once again, roll the left shoulder forward, roll it way back, let it drop. Roll the right shoulder forward, lift it, roll it way back, let it drop. Take your right arm out to the side, allow the arm and hand to supinate as the arm comes up. To further supinate, to further open the shoulder, further supinate the hand and arm, reach up. And with the shoulder as open as possible, without crowding the ear, reach across the body till you begin to feel the stretch in the right intercostals. Go as far as you can go comfortably. Now to increase that stretch, bring your left hand onto the left side of the rib cage and press the ribs toward the right. Reach as far as you can, breathing into the right side of the body. Breathe into that intercostal area, trying to expand the space between the ribs. And let's just go ahead now and take the right arm down and take the left arm down. Would you please take your left hand, reach across to the outside of the right knee. Take your right hand, reach to the side of the pelvis of the seat and hold on. Roll the left side of the pelvis forward. Begin to turn to the right. Turn as far as you can go comfortably. Lengthen the abdominal core. Draw the organs of the abdomen toward the back of the body and turn a little bit more. Breathe. Good. Let's go ahead and rotate back to the center. Take your right hand to the outside of the left knee. Left hand goes to the side of the back of the seat. Hold on. Roll the right side of the pelvis forward. Lengthen the spine. Begin to turn to the left. Go as far as you can go. Draw the belly and all of the organs toward the back of the body. Roll the right side of the pelvis a little farther forward. See if you can turn just a little bit more. Please don't strain the neck. And now, if you would please, release all of the tension and rotate back to the center. Let's stretch the back of the body, the back of the torso. Sit back in the chair. Separate the knees. Good. at least wide enough so you get the arms down between them. Roll forward. Hold on to the legs of the chair. Take your hands as close to the floor as you can. Drop the crown of the head down toward the floor. Lock the chin against the chest, the suprasternal notch. Lock the chin in there. Draw all of the organs of digestion toward the back of the body and begin to roll the whole spine forward. Draw the lowest part of the abdomen up toward the sacrum and see if you can roll a little bit farther forward. Use the arms to help. Bring your elbows under your knees and pressing the elbows up against the knees, see if you can roll even farther forward, dropping the crown of the head down toward the floor, allowing the whole back body to open, breathe, and stretch. Now we're going to release all of the tension, and we're going to just slide our hands forward until the fingertips are on the floor, way out in front of us. And now, if you would please, lift the sacrum by drawing the lowest part of the abdomen in and lifting the sacrum. Begin to draw the organs of digestion and elimination into the center of the body. Begin to lift through the abdominal area. Come all the way up. Keep coming up and up and up and up and up. Finally, spin the palms to face each other. Lay the head back. Look up. And bringing the head back to an upright position, we'll lower the arms. Let's come near the front of the chair. Let's just go ahead and rock the left side of the pelvis forward and let it roll back. Roll the right side of the pelvis forward, let it roll back. Once again, left, roll back, right, roll back, left, roll back, right, roll back. Take your right leg forward. If you have a deep forward bend, step your left foot to the side and slightly forward. Plant or flex your toes, and then the entire foot, trying to take the toes all the way down to the floor. Try to keep the knees straight. And now, if you would please, with your hands on the legs, begin to just lengthen the torso, hinge at the hip, come forward. See how far forward you can go. If you're about parallel to the floor, dropping the hand down, you can probably touch the floor without reaching for it. If that's true, take both hands down. Lengthen the spine and see if you can go even a little bit farther forward. Focus on pressing the heel down and away from you. Go as far as you can go. Now, making sure you're well positioned on the chair, drive the heel forward, dorsiflex in the ankle. The foot is now perpendicular to the floor. See if you can go a little bit deeper into the forward bend. If you're way down there, you can wrap your right arm around the right thigh and use that to create a little leverage to lengthen and draw the torso a little farther forward. Go as far forward as you can comfortably. Continue to press the heel away, guaranteeing that the knee will be straight. Once you're down there as far as you feel you can go, reach out, hold on to the top of the foot. Draw the top of the foot and the toes back toward the knee, and then bend the knee down toward the floor in order to further lengthen the spine. you may begin to feel a release in that right hip. Try to take the right side of the pelvis down to the inside of the right thigh as you continue to try to take the elbow down to the floor. Now, for those of you with a really deep forward bend, take your right hand down, take your left hand over, hold on to the outside of the right foot with your left hand. Lift the elbow, and then see if you can use that arm to create a little extra leverage in the length of the spine, to draw yourself forward, feeling as though you're about to dive under that arm. Go as far as you can go. Make sure the knee remains straight. Let's go ahead and make sure both hands are back on the floor or on your leg if you haven't come with us. Bring your hands up onto the left knee. Press forward. Lift the manubrium. Make sure the spine is well integrated as you press down to come up. Step the right foot back. Shake the leg a bit. And now we're going to plantar flex the toes and foot once again. And we're going to bend the knee. And we're going to place the top of the foot against the floor. If you really have tight legs, tight thighs, you can go to the side of the chair to do that. Don't struggle to take it under if you are having trouble. Go to the right side of the chair so you can drop the knee down and take the foot back like so. It's more effective if you do that. Press down, glue the top of the foot to the floor, and then attempt to lift the knee without allowing the foot to come with you. So you're really stretching the top of the foot, the front of the ankle. Now we're going to keep the toes plantar flexed, and we're going to slide the foot forward with the toes plantar flexed. Come as far forward as you can comfortably, and then press down gently. We're going to come out of there and just roll the ankle around. And pointing the toes once again, plantar flexing foot and toes. Take the pointed toes, tap them against the left heel, press the outside edge of the foot down toward the floor. Inverting the foot, keeping the knees no more than hip distance apart, so that all of the tension is in the ankle. And coming out of there, we'll just roll the foot around once again. And if you would please, put the foot flat against the floor, slide the foot back, bend the toes where they join the body of the foot. Bend the toes so they're now dorsiflex, the heel is lifted. Make sure all 5 toes are flat against the floor. Then roll onto the ball of the big toe, moving the heel forward, stretch the big toe. And now we're going to do that with each metatarsal joint and each toe. So go to the second toe, stretch it. Go to the third, press that metatarsal joint down, stretch the toe. Go to the fourth. And finally, the fifth. And then, if you would please, pressing one metatarsal joint at a time down to the floor. Rock back and forth across the foot. You can let the knee go with you. You can take that action into the ankle by holding the knee right in front of you and then dropping the heel to the inside and then to the outside. So that all of the action now is in the movement of the ankle. And coming out of there, just roll that foot around, make sure there's no stress or tension left in the ankle. Putting the foot flat against the floor, raise only the big toe. Lift it so much that when you look down, you can really see the arch lifting and growing a little bit stronger. Now drop the big toe down, and while you're sitting there, claw the floor with your right foot. Draw the toes toward the center of the arch and release. And do that several times. Notice how the muscles of the arch are being exercised by doing this. Go as far as you can go. Let the arch lift as much as it can. And now we can just let that foot rest, and we'll go to the second side. Take your left leg forward. If you have a deep forward bend, step your right foot to the side and a little bit forward. Plantar flex the left toes, the left foot. Try to take the toes all the way down to the floor. And then if you would please, lengthening the front of the spine, keeping the spine well integrated, hinge in the hip, come forward. When you've come far enough forward, perhaps dropping the hands down, you can easily, comfortably touch the floor. Don't reach for the floor. Depending on how deep you are into the pose, you may find it quite easy to wrap the left arm around the left thigh and draw the torso a little bit farther forward as you lengthen it. Go as deeply as you can, comfortably. Always think about moving the crown of the head away from the tailbone as you draw yourself farther forward. Now, making sure you're well positioned on the chair, begin to slide the heel forward, lifting the foot into a position that is perpendicular to the floor. The ankle is now dorsiflexed. Go as far forward as you can. If you're down there far enough that you can hold on to the top of the foot, do that. Begin to bend the elbow toward the floor to see if you can leverage a little extra length in the spine. If you're successful in doing that, you're going to feel the outer hip moving to the side slightly, allowing the pelvis to roll forward to the inside of the thigh. Continue to draw yourself forward using the arm. Those of you who are way down there and who would like a still deeper stretch, take your right hand, reach across to the outside of the left foot, bend the elbow away from the center line, and then feel as though you're about to dive under that arm. Wherever you are with this pose, organize yourselves to bring your hands up onto the right knee. Press forward. Make sure you're lifting the manubrium to keep the spine well integrated as you press down to come up. Would you please step the foot back and let's just shake the leg a bit. We're going to plantar flex the left foot once again and toes. And now we'll bend the knee and we'll step the foot back, placing the top of the foot against the floor and pressing down. Keep the top of the foot glued to the floor and attempt to lift the knee forward. Get a really good stretch on the top of the foot and the front of the ankle. Go ahead and slide the foot forward now, keeping the toes plantar flexed. Press down gently. And now, if you would please, step the foot out of there and just roll the foot around a bit. And once again, plantar flexing. Take the pointed toes, tap them against the right heel. Press the outside edge of the foot down to the floor. Keep the knees no more than hip distance apart. Good. We're going to step out of there. Just go ahead and roll the foot around a bit. And then putting the foot flat against the floor. Keeping the toes flat against the floor. Lift the heel, dorsiflexing the toes. Come as far back as you can comfortably. And now, if you would please, press the ball of the big toe down, move the heel forward to stretch the big toe. Work your way across the foot, one metatarsal joint, one toe at a time. Go to the second, and then the third, and then the fourth, and then the fifth. And then just rock back and forth. Put one metatarsal joint at a time down against the floor. Press down as you do that. If you would like, you can hold the knee in a steady position and invert the foot and then evert the foot. Go back and forth. Moving the heel back and forth. All of the action now is in the ankle. The knees just sort of bobbing up and down as you do that. Good. We're going to come out of there now. Roll the foot around, wiggle your toes, make it happy. And placing the foot flat against the floor, lift only the big toe. Press the other toes down. So you're lifting both arches, both the longitudinal arch and the metatarsal arch that goes across the foot. And then just drop the big toe down. Now, if you would, claw the floor with your left foot. And relaxing the foot. We're going to do some toe tapping now so that we can strengthen the muscles that support the arch. So let's just go ahead and tap away. There are 3 positions. I started with my feet straight ahead. There are 2 others. One, the toes will be turned in, the other, the toes will be turned out. And you can do whichever of those next that you would like. Some people have already begun to do that, so let's all join in. Bring the toes in or out. Keep tapping. When the muscle begins to fatigue, go ahead and change your position to the final position. I think we've had enough of that. Let's sit back in the chair for just a moment. Holding on to the chair, try to lift it up and straighten the legs. And now, if you would, please dorsiflex. See if you can lift the feet a little bit more. Make the thighs really strong as you do that. Lift the chair up. And now, if you would, please dorsiflex. Lift the heels up a little bit more. Make the thighs really strong. And then supinate. See if you can bring the full foot right in line with each other. And let's come on out of there. And shake the legs. Now, if you would, please come to the front of the chair. Use the abdomen, lift, come up. All right. Would you please stand behind the chair? Make sure there's nothing behind you as you're going to step back and hit. Okay? Jen, you're going to have to move back just a tiny bit. Perfect.
Sorry.
Yeah. Are we still good?
You're fine.
All right. So let's go ahead and step the right foot between the legs of the chair. Step the left foot back.
Go until you begin to feel just the tiniest stretch in the left calf. Standing tall, bend the right knee toward the chair. You begin to feel the left heel get light. Stop at that point. To take the heel back down to the floor, don't press the heel down, but instead press the back of the heel farther back. So you should not feel any of the tension in the knee. You should feel it in the calf. You can always go deeper by simply bending the right knee a little closer to the chair. When the heel gets light, press back once again. Now, for most of us at this point, the toes are going to be pointed out. So what we're going to do is take some of the tension out, and now we're going to point the toes straight ahead of the left foot. Point the toes of the left foot straight ahead, and then take that heel down, and then begin to bend the right knee toward the chair until you feel the stretch. It's going to change where the stretch occurs.
Okay.
When the back heel gets light, press the back of the heel back to take it down. If you want to go farther, there may be some who do, bend the knee a little closer to the chair and press the heel back again. Now we're going to take the tension out, and this time we're going to have the toes pointing in and the heel out slightly. Try to keep the pelvis square. So you feel like you're about to twist the legs together there at the top of the thighs. Am I right? And now, move the knee forward when you feel the heel get light. Press the back of the heel back. This time you'll be on the inner edge of the back of the heel. Press it back. If you want to go deeper, take the right knee a little bit farther forward. You don't have to go very far. And then, right, John? Press the heel back once again. Now we're going to return the foot to its original position. Leaning forward, we'll put some weight on the chair so that we can lift the right foot, step it back slightly, and then step the left foot forward. Now before you let go of the chair, just rock back and forth so you find your bearings. And then just go ahead and let the chair go and stand tall. Before you fall over, we'll do the second side. Let's go ahead. We'll take the left foot forward, putting it between the legs of the chair. Step the right foot back. Keep the spine erect. Bend the knee toward the chair, the left knee. The right heel is going to feel light. When it does, stop. Press the back of the heel back. If you want to go farther, you just have to bend the left knee a little bit closer to the chair. The heel gets light and you press it back. Now we're going to take some of the tension out so that we can easily move the back foot so the toes are pointing straight ahead. Take the heel down without tension, and then standing tall, bend the left knee a little bit closer to the chair. You'll feel the heel get light. Press the back of the heel back. Always you can go farther by bending the knee closer. When the heel gets light, stop and press the heel back. Now we're going to take some of the tension out, so we can now turn the heel out, the toes in of the back foot, the right foot. And then keeping the tops of the thighs fairly close together and the pelvis square, bend the left knee toward the chair. When the back of the heel, when the inner portion of the back of the heel feels really light, press the outer portion of that heel, that portion of the heel back. Take the heel down. If you want to go deeper, you can always move the knee a little bit closer When you feel a slight press back. Before coming out of the pose, we want to turn the foot to its original position. And then leaning forward, we take a little bit of weight onto the back of the chair. Step the left foot back, step the right foot forward. Before you let go of the chair, just rock back and forth a tiny bit. And stand up. I'm going to have to move my chair a bit, so you might want to get on that. Let's go ahead and put your hands on the back of the chair. You might want to angle your chair a little differently. Angle it differently. And go forward.
Oh.
Okay, good. You're good. I just don't want you running into anything.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let's go ahead. Hold on to the back of the chair, and while you're there, walk back until your hips are bent at 90 degrees. Now, some of you are lucky. You have short legs, and the torso is right in line with the arms and the hands. The head and neck are in line with the arms and hands. But those of you with longer legs may have to descend the torso a little farther forward, taking the chest forward, bending in the hips. Now, we're all going to bend the knees deeply. And while you're there, you're going to lift the tailbone, which is going to further antevert the pelvis. And with the pelvis in that anteverted position, straighten your legs. And now we're going to bend the left knee fairly deeply so that the left side of the pelvis rolls forward toward the floor. You begin to feel a stretch in the outer right hip. To increase the stretch in the outer right hip, just swing the hips slightly more to the right as you drop the left side of the pelvis farther forward. Now, some of you want a deeper stretch, and some of you may be feeling stress in the left shoulder. So drop your left arm down toward the floor and continue to roll the pelvis. Roll into that outer right hip. If you want to go even deeper, take your left hand, hold on to the outside of your right ankle, and rotate the whole torso to the right. It's going to very much increase the stretch in the outer right hip. You're stretching the abductors. You're stretching the piriformis muscle. You're going to relieve sciatic pain or prevent it from happening. And now, if you would please, as you straighten the left leg, bring your left hand back up onto the back of the seat, back of the chair. We're going to bend both knees once again and lift the tailbone, and then straighten the leg. And now we'll bend the right knee, and as we bend the right knee, we'll allow the right side of the pelvis to roll forward. Keep the left leg straight. Go as far as you can go comfortably. Rock slightly to the left to increase the stretch in the left hip. For many of us, there's going to be a bit of strain in the right shoulder, so drop your right arm down toward the floor. Continue to rotate the torso toward the left. If you want to go even farther, hold on to the outside of the left ankle with your right hand and rotate the entire torso. Make sure you're keeping that left leg as straight as possible. Breathe. As you straighten the right leg, bring your right hand back up onto the chair. Bend the knees, lift the tailbone, straighten the legs. Press down against the back of the chair, lift the torso as a unit, and then walk forward to come out of the pose. Great, let's have a seat. Good. We'll go to the left side of the chair.
and take the left leg way out to the side. Coming forward, try to take the right side of the pelvis to the inside of the right feet. To leverage a little extra length in the torso, you can use your hands or your elbow on the outside of that knee. Press back against the knee and lengthen the spine. As you lengthen the spine, you may feel that you're unloading the hip, and you can roll the pelvis a little farther forward. Go as far as you can comfortably. If you want a deeper stretch, take your right arm, bring it down toward the floor, and then reach under the right knee with your right hand. See if you can take the arm, or perhaps even the shoulder, down under the knee. As you roll the pelvis farther forward, lengthen the front of the spine. Pay attention to your left foot. It may want to roll forward with you. Do an external rotation of that leg to keep the foot as close to perpendicular to the floor as you can as you roll farther forward. And now, if you would please, swing the torso. Even if your hands are on your legs, swing the torso to a point halfway between the 2 feet. Lengthen the spine and begin to bend the elbows toward the floor. When the torso is down there as far as you can take it, keeping the spine as well integrated as possible, go ahead and swing the torso farther over to the left, bringing the left side of the pelvis to the inside of the left thigh, maybe. Walk your hands over, if your hands are on the floor, until they're on either side of the left leg. And then, if you would please, lengthen the spine and take the left side of the belly down to the thigh. Bring the lowest ribs and then the entire rib cage down onto the leg. Go as deeply as you can go comfortably. Try to keep the right knee back where it started. So you feel the pelvis is widening as you bend forward over the left leg. And now, if you would please, walk the hands back over to the center and then on over to the right. If your hands are on your legs, just swing the torso back until you can put your hands on the right knee. Press forward with the hands, lift the manubrium, lengthen the spine, press down to come up. And now, bending that knee, you'll step the foot over to join the other foot, shake the leg. Make sure you're well positioned on the chair. Move over, take the right knee over the left. And then, if you would please, bring the right foot, left foot, up next to the right hip. Lift that right left thing. Sit up tall, hinge at the hip. It's so hard. Come on forward. Make sure the pelvis is square and the sits bones are both in touch with the chair. One sits bone will feel lighter than the other. One leg will feel lighter than the other. Try to maintain that integrated position of the pelvis and come forward. Take the belly to the thigh. Good. Let's inhale and come up. And we'll go ahead and we'll step that foot out of there. Shake the leg. And now, staying here on the left side of the chair, we'll drop the left knee down towards the floor. To go into a lunging position, we'll lean forward from the hips, put your elbows on your knee. Slide your left foot back, keeping the toes dorsiflexed. Toes are pointing forward. The heel is lifted behind you. And then you press the heel back to further straighten the leg. To go deeper into the hip flexors, put your hands on your right knee, if you feel comfortable doing this. Press down. Inhale, begin to come up. Make sure you're lengthening the abdominal core as you come up, so you're not compressing the lower back. Come up as far as you can. There'll be a nice deep stretch in the hips and the quadriceps. Press the heel back to deepen the stretch. Before coming out of the pose, lean forward once again, put your elbows on the knee, slide the foot forward, step the foot up, step it down, shake the legs. Many of you can hold on to the ankle. If you can, reach down, hold on to the ankle. If you can't, do that same pose again. You're holding on to the ankle, drop the knee down toward the floor. Hold on to the opposite side of the chair with your right hand. Allow the weight of the leg to draw the shoulder down and back. Lift the chest against that knee. Lift the foot behind you. If you want to, you can begin to lengthen the spine and lay the head back. See if that helps you to lift the leg even more. Good, we're going to swing that knee forward now. We'll step the foot down and we'll shake the leg. Coming into the center of the chair, put your left ankle across the right knee. Protect the knee. If you have any pain in the knee, keep it lifted slightly. To increase the stretch in the hip and to stabilize the hip socket, bring a hand or an elbow to the outside of that knee and press toward the hip. Square the pelvis and hinging from the hips, roll forward. To go deeper in this pose, put your right hand to the outside of the left heel, press the heel toward the hand. Activate the whole leg by doing that and see if you can roll a little farther forward. Inhaling, come up. We're going to go ahead and step that foot down. We'll shake the leg and go to the second side. So take the right leg out to the side. The foot is perpendicular to the floor, the heel pressed down so you're not hyperextending the knee. And then coming forward, you'll try to take the left side of the pelvis, the ASIS, the anterior superior iliac spine. Take it to the inside of the left femur if you can. Now you can use your hand on the outside of the knee or your elbow on the outside of the knee, pressed back toward the hip. Use that to leverage a little extra length in the torso, and as you do that, see if that unloads the hip enough that you can roll forward a little bit farther. When you're down there as far as you can go, see if you can comfortably reach your left arm under the left leg, bringing your left hand to the outside. Some of you might be able to bring your left shoulder under the knee. Use the arm or shoulder against the back of the knee to leverage a little deeper pose, rolling the pelvis a little farther forward. Go as far as you can go comfortably. Pay attention to the right side because now the right foot may want to roll forward. Externally rotate that leg until the toes, the foot, are as close to perpendicular to the floor as you can get. Be mindful of what you're feeling in the right adductor. And now, if you would please, begin to swing the torso to a point halfway between the 2 feet. If your hands are on the floor, walk them over to that place. Halfway between the 2 feet. Continue to lengthen the spine as you try to descend the torso a little farther forward, bending the elbows toward the floor. When you have maxed out, Go ahead. Swing the torso farther to the right. Bringing the right side of the pelvis to the inside of the right femur if you can. Bringing both hands over, walking them over until the hands are on either side of the right leg. Continue to lengthen the spine. Take the belly down to the thigh and then see if you can bring your ribs down. And now we'll swing the torso all the way back over to the left side. Bring your hands onto the left knee. Press forward, lift the manubrium, integrate the torso, press down, inhale, come up. And let's go ahead now and step the right foot over to join the left. Shake the leg, making sure you're well positioned on the chair. Please put the right knee over the left. And then reaching down, bring the right foot up next to the left hip. Sit up tall. Make sure the sits bones are comfortably positioned on the chair and the pelvis is as square as you can make it. And then hinge forward from the hips, bringing the belly down to the thighs. Come as far forward as you can. Inhaling, please come up. And if you would please step that foot down, shake the legs a bit. Staying there on the right side of the chair, drop your right knee down toward the floor. Hinge in the left hip, come forward, bring your elbows onto your knees. While you're in that position, to go into a lunge, just slide your right foot back, keeping the toes dorsiflexed, the heel lifted. When you get the leg straight, if you can, or wherever you are with this, press the heel farther back to increase the stretch in the hip flexors. To go a little bit deeper into the hip flexors, put your hands on the left knee, press down, begin to lift the torso, make sure you're lengthening the abdominal core so you're not compressing the lower back as you come up. When you come up as far as you can, press the heel farther back. Good. We'll take the tension out by leaning forward once again. Put your hands or elbows on that knee. Slide the right foot forward. Step the foot up. Step it down. Shake the leg a bit. Those of you who can, hold on to the right knee or the right ankle. Drop the knee down toward the floor. Hold on to the left side of the chair. If you can't quite hold on to the ankle, just slide the foot back again as we did before. Allow the weight of the leg to draw the shoulder back and down. Lift the chest against that action. And now, if you would, please lift the foot behind you. To increase that stretch, try lengthening the front of the spine. Lengthen the whole spine, lay the head back. See if you can lift the foot a little bit farther. Try to keep the pelvis square as possible. Good. Taking the tension out, swing that knee forward, step the foot down, shake the leg. Coming near the center of the chair, we'll go ahead and bring the right foot over the left knee. Protect the knee if you need to. Hold the knee up as you roll forward. Or, using the elbow or hand, press the femur toward the hip socket. So you're stabilizing the hip socket. As you roll forward, you will be creating greater flexibility in the ligaments that hold that hip stable. So you don't want to stretch those, you want to make them more flexible. Once you've gone as far forward as you can, to increase the depth of the pose, take your left hand, put it on the right heel, press the heel into the hand, see if that unloads the hip, and if it does, roll forward a little bit farther. Good, let's inhale and come up out of there. And if you would please, step that foot down, shake the leg. Now, to make sure that there's no tension in your lower back, let's just go ahead and rock the left side of the pelvis forward and let it rock back. And then the right side. Go back and forth several times. And now, since we're so limber, let's just sit here in the center of the chair, stay forward on the chair, and please bring your left knee over your right knee. See if you can wrap the left ankle around the back of the right. Not going to happen, huh? No. Well, this is half a pose. Actually, it's a third of a pose. Let's do another third. Take your arms forward. Let's go ahead and bend the left. Would you please bring the right arm under the left elbow. Fold. Round you go. And now reach up until you feel the back stretching. Now the other third of this would be standing on that right foot and balancing. Okay, it's called Garudasana. Not the easiest pose in the world, but a lot easier if the shoulders and the hips are free. And you can continue to lengthen and lengthen and lengthen and lengthen. And now, if you would please, let's just go ahead, lower the arms, separate the arms, separate the legs, shake the legs. And now let's try putting the right over the left. Take the right ankle, wrap it around the back of the left. Fun, huh? We're going to take the arms forward, and this time we'll bend the right, and we'll take the left under, and around you go. And now just reach up and up and up. Go up as far as you can. Allow the upper back, allow the whole back to stretch open as you go. And now we'll just go ahead and lower the arms, separate the arms, separate the legs. Sit back in the chair. Close your eyes and just let your body breathe. Each breath comes and goes, and in the same way, every thought, let it come, but let it go. Don't entertain it. Please return your awareness to the breathing of your body. When you're ready, bring your hands together in prayer position in front of your heart. Slowly, gradually open your eyes, becoming aware of the room. Namaskar, Marin. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.